Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about Sam Raimi's newest film, Send Help. And I have to say, I fucking love this movie. And what is interesting, this may be the best January for movies in at least a decade. Because usually when a movie comes out in January, it's dumpuary and it's usually awful, and the studio doesn't believe in it, and it's bad, and it's just forgettable. But we've had People You Meet on Vacation, The Rip, 28, the second 28 years later sequel of the new trilogy, and now Send Help, and also Primate. So we've had five good movies in January. All are good movies, and I don't mean good for Netflix. I mean actually from top down good movies. Maybe they have flaws or a little bit, but they're all good movies. Like these movies could have all. I mean, they've all the ones that are not on Netflix all opened number one, but in a sense, if these movies came out in March or the summer or whatever, like these could have made as much money as like Weapons, at least, right? Like I'm putting them all in like a tier right below Weapons, but Send Help is better than Weapons. Okay? And I mean that like pound for pound. Send Help. If you loved Weapons, you will love this movie. And Sam Raimi has his muse. Sam Raimi to Rachel McAdams is what Coogler is to Michael B. Jordan, or Emma Stone to Yogo Hopovich, or Spike Lee and Denzel. It's just these certain combos that just work. And I think there's a lot. I close my eyes for a lot of the scenes because they are graphic as shit. In the way of like The Pit is graphic, but it is a ride from start to finish. There's only a little bit where it slows down where you're like, huh. But then the ending makes up for the part that slows down, so it's a payoff. Like it seems bad in the moment, but after you're like, oh, okay, much better than it is. So we're gonna go full spoilers. If you haven't seen it, why are you listening? Listen to me or listen to The Big Picture with Sean Fantasy. So we're gonna start. Um, so the movie has Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams are your two characters, and so when I say the character's name, I'm gonna keep calling Dylan O'Brien's character Styles, like Styles from Teen Wolf, and I'm just gonna call Rachel McAdams because their character names. I think it's fucking Blake and Lily or whatever, but the names don't matter. I just prefer calling Dylan O'Brien Styles. And do you know Rachel McAdams is 47 years old? I thought she was like slightly like I know Dylan O'Brien is my age, right? He's 33. So I was like, oh, and like I remember like Rachel McAdams is like in Mean Girls and shit. So I was like, oh, she has to be maybe 38, 39. Like Lindsay Lohan just turned 40, like in that age range. I had no idea she was 47 because we're gonna get into part of this movie, but so the movie starts off with Rachel McAdams' character, and the fact that they were able to make like Rachel McAdams ugly is amazing because she looks like an ugly, slobby girl. She can't dress. Very Anne Hathaway in Devil Wears Prada before the um, pretty girl moment where like Anne Hathaway like gets the Sex in the City montage and becomes hot. She's a slob. She eats disgusting. She has her desk as a mess. She smells. Her coworkers do not like her. We start off. She's like writing this report. She gives it to her boss. Her coworker that sits behind her is talking to this Asian guy, and they're like, "We're gonna go do karaoke." And Rachel McAdams comes in like, "Oh, I love karaoke. My go-to song is Go Your Own Way. Do you know it?" And the guy's just like, "Huh, okay," because he's like trying to ask her to ask the cute Asian girl out, and the boss's guy, "Thank you so much for all your help. You're a real thing." And she's like, "Oh, can I come in the meeting and like pitch something?" He's like, "Nah, meeting got smaller." And Rachel McAdams looks like a slob. And then he throws out the sticky note that has like that said like she did like she all the work and whatever. So that's thrown out. He pitches the thing. Then we see Rachel McAdams's home life. She has a bird. She lives like a slob, and she loves watching Survivor. Like she just apparently just watches Survivor nonstop. Then we go to the next day at work. Dylan O'Brien character, I mean Styles is now head of the company because the father died and the father passed it on to him in the will. And Rachel McAdams comes up, is like eating tuna fish sandwich on her desk, and she has tuna fish all over her face. And I don't know if Rachel McAdams actually has these odd birthmarks in real life. Because like I don't remember her. I don't think Rachel McAdams has a giant mole on her right side at all, like at all. But Dylan Styles is just like disgusted by like her, and she's like, "You should take a shower." People are complaining about it and things like this. But hey, if you can prove, because she was promised to be vice president, and the president from 24, the black guy that gets killed, is like, your father promised her vice president, and he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm doing that with my boy because he knows how to, golf with me and a bunch of other shit. And he's like a standard dickhead dude. But also, in no world would like Rachel McAdams' character get vice president because she looks like a slob and whatever. So the next day, they're all on a private jet going to Thailand to do this acquisition to merge companies, and Rachel McAdams is typing up in the back, very Rebecca from Landman. And Styles, the Asian guy, and some blonde guy, I can't recognize what he's from. They find Rachel McAdams' Survivor audition tape because apparently she really wanted to be on Survivor, and they are laughing completely. And Rachel McAdams takes her headphones off, and she sees that the people are watching it, and she becomes embarrassed, and she cries, and she's upset. And then lightning strikes the plane. The plane breaks in half, and the blonde asshole guy's tie gets stuck in Rachel McAdams' seat, and his face just comes straight off on the windshield, and Rachel McAdams just shuts the window thing so she doesn't have to see it, and everyone else goes flying. Plane crashes in the ocean like Manifest or Lost or what other fucking yeah, like all or Castaway, and she washes ashore, and she's just walking nonstop. She sees Styles passed out in his chair because he was in the raft. He wore like the life jacket thing. Coming back. She sees that his leg is all fucked up, and because Rachel McAdams watched a lot of Survivor, she is able to create a bed because he's already in the airplane chair. Creates it, and she knew how to create penicillin from the tree, and is able to put penicillin in his leg so he doesn't get an infection, and a bunch of other things, and coconuts in the sand with leaves so the rainwater goes in it and they have fresh water. And it's been 3 days. He wakes up. Styles is a real asshole to her because he's like, you work for me. And she's like, I don't think you realize this, but we're on an island. I don't work for you. We don't work for anybody. And Styles can't walk and all of this. And he's just like a real asshole about everything. We see that Rachel McAdams learns how to fish. She gets fish. They're cooking with the fire. And then Rachel McAdams is like, I think I see a boar. I have a spear. We need to eat real protein or we're gonna die of like lack of nutrition. And this is where the Rachel McAdams like changes her character vibe. And also now this is the other part before that. 5 days into the island, about like Rachel McAdams no longer seems to be like the ugly girl. She looks like Rachel McAdams again, like super hot with the beach hair and everything. And you can see her get hotter like as the movie progresses, which is great because going from, it's like, oh wow, like with the beach here in the sand, I'm like, damn, I totally want to fuck Rachel McAdams. The boar, she fights a boar, right? She jumps on top of a boar because she was on top of a tree, lands and stabs it. The boar throws her off. She has another spear. The boar accidentally stabs itself, like goes around into the spear, and the blood comes off everywhere. And that's when you see the scene in the trailer where she just has the boar head in front of Styles, like throws in, and she's like, wow, hunting is fun, and ha ha ha, covered in blood. So then she begins, foraging for shit, and she sees a boat and she sees it and she hides because she's like, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to go back to the real world at all yet. So she doesn't tell Styles about this. And then she goes back. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah. Styles is a real asshole and does something to her. Oh, yeah. Styles says, fuck you to all this and tries to go out on his own and can't do anything because he's really hard. And he begs for forgiveness from Rachel McAdams. And then Rachel McAdams like, you know what? What are you going to do for me? And then like fine, Styles was like, fine, I'll fuck you. And he's like, I'm not you. I'm not gonna do that. Also, Styles is engaged to some black chick. This plays a role in later. I kind of forgot that happened. Who's like really nice. Um, so we see them bond and kind of become friends, and he learns to walk. They go on a hike together up the top of this mountain, and we see a tree, like the other side of the mountain has this X, and she's like, don't go over there, there's nothing but poison over there. If you get there, you're gonna get infected and you're gonna die. And because Styles is just a city guy, he believed her. And it just seems sad because Rachel McAdams knows how to do everything. She almost falls like off the cliff. Styles saves her, and this is where they kind of become friends, and you kind of see them bonding, and it's like a montage of shit that happens. Then, um, Styles is like, "Let me cook for you because you've been so nice," and he gives her these berries, like cooks in the berries that are poison, which forces her to throw up and looks like she's having a seizure. And then he takes this raft that he made secretly and tries to like escape with the raft, which makes no sense because she would have just let him anyway. And then he almost drowns and he ends up back ashore. And now Rachel McAdams ties him up. And this is where the craziest scene in the movie happens because I had to close my eyes because it was so fucking uncomfortable. But this is the best scene in the fucking movie. So she cooks for Styles, and Styles begins to like choke and stuff, and she tells him, "Oh, the octopus I gave you is something I hid for a while because I knew it has a paralytic in it, and you're not going to be able to feel anything or speak." And so she goes, "You're gonna listen to me now because of what you did." And she brings out this knife, right? And she takes off Styles' pants and his underwear, and she's like, "You know what? I had a dog once, and we had to neuter it. So here's what we're gonna do. When we neuter a dog, they seem to calm down. So the good thing is," and she like has the knife on the fire, so it's getting hot. And she's like, "You're gonna listen, and we're gonna neuter you to fix you. You don't need these anymore anyway. It's not like I want to suck your dick or fuck you or anything." And she stabs it, and blood comes all over his face. I close my eyes because I'm like, "Oh my god!" And all the guys at my screening were like, "Oh my god!" Because you felt the pain. You're like, "Oh my god, his balls are gonna cut. Oh my god! Oh my god!" Right. And then she throws a rat. She's like, "This is a rat I just skinned. Okay, wasn't your dick." But you're lucky because next time it will be your dick. Okay. And then they have this conversation later. She's like, "Oh, about like how she was married for 10 years and um the dude was an alcoholic." And she's like, "You know what? He was abusive to me, and I gave him the car keys after he drank too much and he killed himself in the car, like in a car accident." Yeah. So then what happens is Rachel McAdams goes hiking again, and we see Styles' wife and some Asian guy land on the boat, and they're like, "Oh my god, we found you guys. It's been a month. Everyone else called us to search and whatever." And like, "Oh my god." And so she takes him up the mountain trail hike where she almost fell, and she pushes Styles' fiance and the Asian guy off, so they die. And then she has nightmares. She has a nightmare that the fiance came through the like washed the shore and was like, "You tried to fucking kill me." And she fights her in her nightmare. And then like this zombie thing comes up right behind her and she wakes up. That's the jump scare. Then Styles is like angry and he's like, "I'm gonna go fucking hunting for the boar." He sees the boar is eating something, and he sees his fiance's dead hand ring, and he comes back angry. And then they fight all throughout this whole thing, right? And he scrapes her face against the forest, and like you think her eye's about to come out. She stabs him. She chokes him with the shoelaces, and she runs away. Oh, that's right. There's also a cave body heat scene that I forgot about that thing. They don't fuck. It seems like they're gonna fuck eventually, where they're like, "Oh, will they? Won't they? Won't they?" They never fuck in this movie. Then what happens is after Styles runs towards the X he was told never to run to, he sees this fancy resort house because apparently this is Epstein's Island and there's been mansions there. He breaks into the house and he looks through and he's like, "There's no knives." And apparently Rachel McAdams is in there in the security vault in the panic room saying, you know, I found this place months ago. I've been here so much, taking showers, being clean. I saw the restock people come in here. I followed them on the boat we saw before. And she learned the code. She disabled it. She's like, some Wall Street billionaire owns this. He doesn't really check on it. Apparently, he uses this house for illicit activities. And, she comes out with a shotgun. Styles tries to kill her. And then she uses the samurai. She uses a golf club, beats the shit out of him, kills him. Then we time jump again. Apparently, she decides to like reveal herself. She's a best-selling author called Nobody Will Help You. And apparently her brain scar and all of that is healed. I just gotta say, and then Rachel, yeah, fucking amazing movie from top down. Please go see it. I'm actually okay that Styles and Rachel McAdams ever fucked. Because then I'm like, oh, Styles is 33, Rachel McAdams is 47, but Rachel McAdams doesn't look 47. But fantastic movie.